Here we are, getting ready to bob our Jeep. There's not too many videos out there about this that I could find anyhow. So, in the instructions it says measure from the top 14.5 inches back, which puts us right back at this hole, the back, or start of it, back of the start of it. And then whack her off right there and take her mount out. So I guess this is the moment of truth. No going back from here, let's go and buy a new frame. Or weld this one back together. But yeah, so well, we'll get started. Well folks, we did it. Ain't no going back now. Got it all cleaned up. Cuts come out real nice. Got that ground off. And I think now, I mean, it definitely made a lot shorter vehicle for sure. I don't know if you can tell or not, but yeah, there's that. It's kind of stubby. Well, that's what we're going for. So I think we'll take this time to power wash, get the rest of this junk out of here so we can put together nice and clean. Okay, well, we got her all cleaned up, looking good, at least for now. Kind of think we might oughta actually just leave it like this. It's so nice to clean up after everything versus climbing under it. But anyhow, so to run through everything, so far we pulled the bed off and got rid of the hitch and all that stuff. That's pretty simple. 6 bolts, the wiring, your bumper, your hitch, and that would leave you with the frame horn sticking out. So by the instructions, you measure from the top of the frame horn back to, and actually ends up being the back side of a hole, kind of like right here, but a hole here, not there. And that's 14 5/8 of an inch is what it measures to. Then I just took a square, went straight down. Actually lines up with another, the same looking hole on the bottom of the frame. So then you whack those off, we clean these up. We're gonna paint them when we're all done here. But just so you know, the two sides are different. There's 2 nut zerts right here that we actually have to shave the heads off. So these new frame rail brackets, these are the brackets that will slip over your frame rail. This is our next step. And then we have to drill the holes here. There's 1 in the bottom, 2 in each side. There's a total of 5 bolts that'll slip over there. But there is 2 nut zerts here that we're going to have to grind the heads off, so this will actually fit on there. And we had these powder coated, and it's a real tight fit with the powder coat, but boy, they did a nice job. So on this side, however, is different than that side. I had to take, this actually has a reinforcement plate that was welded on under here. So we cut the welds and air hammered that off. Now I'm going to go through and clean the frame up, all the excess weld that's left. And like I said, we'll go ahead and touch this up. Oh, also, we had to take the spare tire mount out, which is just welded to this cross member. And we ground those welds down. This all got painted with some frame paint. So to double check your measurement here, it also says measure off the back side of this cross member should be 8 5/16 of an inch, which it is. So we should be in great shape. So now we're going to go ahead, grind this up. We'll put our 2 mounts on, drill the holes. It just actually says drill the holes and then remove the mounts. Then I believe the next step is putting a new cross member here and a new cross member up here. And so yeah, we'll go ahead and get that started and get that going. Okay, so we got those nut zert heads taken off, all the welds cleaned up, got that one fitting on there good. Get this one on there, we'll mark the hole Gonna drill some holes here for these mounts, as they call for. Man, I ripped a tendon in my elbow, I think. Wife says it's tennis elbow, but not 100% sure of that because I've never actually played tennis. So I don't see how it could be that. But I don't know. That's what she says. What a nice fit. It's another. I know it. Another little nut head right there. But oh, looks like you just actually beat it up over the top of that. I want to make sure these are all nice with this frame. Looks like it can come up more. That's about that right there. Check this. And then the big holes. These brackets have matching holes as in the frame, and they line up nice. So I would say that's right where she should be. They look real even. So I guess we'll go ahead and mark and drill those holes. Get that done. Okay, so our next step here is to grab these two pieces, which would be this rail and then this frame. This rail sits on top of the old mounts in the front. There's a block in there, so it looks like the bed bolt will go all the way through into the existing old bed mount block, or whatever you want to call it anyhow. But so you grab kit number 1, your bolt kit, and grab an 1.5 inch bolt and nut with some washers. That is a 13/16 and then a 7/8 for your bolt, or nut rather, down here. And just leave these loose so we can align everything up. And we'll go ahead. And next step is put the floor of the bed on. So we'll grab that and set that on there real quick and go from there. Okay, so we got our bed floor on. And I did actually paint the frame. Forgot to tell you that last. And I wanted to mention drilling them holes in the frame for them brackets. That was pretty much fun. Yeah, went through about 7 bits. Started with a pilot hole, and it's that hardened steel frame. And the pilot hole was fine. But then I was stepping up to a larger bit. You gotta reach 1/2 inch diameter. And then I had a brain surgeon and realized, oh, let me try a step bit, like nice step bit. Yeah, that worked out well. So that wasn't so bad after that. My recommendation is the pilot hole, step bit it up, you'll be good. But anyhow, we got these on here loose. 2.5 inch bolts to drop through. And now it says to put the front wall, well, get the front wall and put the nameplate cover on that bag 2. And I assume we're going to put the front wall on next. So we'll go ahead and do that, assemble that, what it says there, and go from there. Okay, so we got the nameplate cover on. That's pretty simple, just bolts on the back of the front of the bed here. And then we stick the lip of the front of the bed actually goes in between this, or actually right under this mount of the bed here, the floor of the bed, and then figure 3 screws in. I just put the paper towel holder there so I wouldn't scratch the cab while I was doing that. And it looks like there's going to have to be quite a bit of adjustment on everything, obviously. But we'll just go ahead to, oh, the nameplate cover was actually kit 15, not kit 2. Kit 2 is what I use for bolts for putting the front wall on. We'll move to the next step. Okay, so the next step was put this inner fender on here, and we're just these screws and I'm actually gonna pull these 2 bolts out and slide this whole bed floor back so I can bolt this all together. You just can't put there's no room in between. So here, really to get anything in there. So it's actually pretty straightforward. Just all bolts together, read what screws and go where. And it's kind of fun, actually. It's really going to start coming together quick, I think. So we're going to go ahead, pull this bed back. I'm going to pull those 2 big bolts out right there. Pull the bed back so I can put all these sides together. And it actually says go ahead and put the outer sides on. But there is a lot of adjustment in this. In these slots here, and everything's real adjustable here, so I might just push the bed back and forth, and I don't know, we'll see how it goes, just to make sure everything's where it's got to go. Probably keep the screws all loose for now, and then I'll probably put it back where it would sit, and then line all the body lines up and snug it all up and go from there. But so far it's been pretty simple. I think it's going to be kind of a cool little getty up. Definitely a small bed, but once you get it on a truck, it's actually bigger than, well, no, I ain't gonna lie, it is pretty small. But for what we're going to be using it for, and we got a rack for it and all that, it'll be great. And definitely help us out on the trail. We got a lot more departure angle and a lot less length, actually, to really maneuver around on the trails. Sorry, I was just thinking, actually, I think what I'll do, just for reference to show you, so the front of this bed is actually, the whole thing's only 4 foot long. Okay, well, let's go to the stock bed here and see what that is. I think it's 5 foot. So we are at 5'8". Wow. So, it actually cut off exactly 20 inches. That's quite substantial. I mean, that's not including the bumper sticking out, but this bumper I know only hangs out like 4 inches. So, you might be 5 foot. And that one hung out 6 inches. I do know that. The aftermarket bumper we had on there. So that is, I would call it 20 inch or 2 foot shorter all day long at that rate. Or 20 inches rather. That's huge. Well, huge difference. Box ain't huge. So I'm going to go ahead, and no point in, recording all the fitment, and I mean, maybe I'll a little bit here and there if I see something that is notable, but for now, it's just actually go ahead and just watch what screws go where, and bolt it all together and align everything. So we're going to put in this fender liner, this one, and then the 2 outsides, and try and get it all straightened up nice. So go ahead and do that and get back with you. Well, this is where we're at in life. got it all bolted together. Wasn't too bad, just some adjusting, and did pull the box back so I could reach the front panel. So to recap, we've taken the bed off, spare tire mount, cut the frame, put 2 new cross members on, painted the frame. Oh, put the floor on, the front panel, the 2 inner panels, fender liners, and then the 2 outside panels. Got it all bolted together. And that's pretty much it so far. It's simple. Just takes a few minutes, put all the bolts in and adjust everything. Not bad. So the next step is to take these brackets, get this all straightened up and secure, bolt your bed sides, makes them strong, and so this goes with the bolt holes facing towards you, and this here bracket facing towards you as well. That's for your tailgate cables. So I think what I'm going to do, I didn't tighten these bolts back here because need a adjustment here to actually fit all this together. So I figured, well, quite a bit off the holes, a little bit here and a little bit there, and for this bracket to all line up. So I figured I'd leave it all loose and save me from having to loosen it back up, and we'll do that. And then, so that bolt kit is kit number 3. Yeah, I'm also going to fit the tailgate at the same time, get it real close. That way I don't have to loosen everything back up. And it kind of says to do it a little different, but I think this would be a lot easier. Just do it in one shot, get the gaps right, everything lined up, and we'll go from there. So I'll go ahead and get those installed. And also it says to put our tail light or license plate light bracket on, goes right here and shines up towards the tailgate. So I'm going to do that and get everything adjusted properly. suppose that's why I left everything loose. Go. That's more straighter groove. See how close that fits. Boy, that's actually, I don't think you're gonna get much of a better gap than that. That's right on the line. There. say, if anything, this bedside could come down just above that side, perfect. So, loosen this up and that's why we didn't tighten all those screws up there, because I don't think we have to do this. It's a little better. Powder coat crack, that's awesome. That was my fault. You don't want to crack your powder coat, tighten it from the other side. Washers, that's spinning. Okay. I'm still going to use all these loose. This is not going to hurt nothing. These are on here. It's solid. So, that way I only got 6 bolts to loosen up rather than 20. So, wait till we actually get the tailgate fine-tuned. While I'm thinking of it, there's 2 versions of this bed. There's a steel bed and aluminum bed. We opted to go with aluminum just for the lightness of it, and don't have to worry about it rusting and whatnot. Seems to be a very nice bed so far. Everything's actually really precise. Like I said, the instructions, they're pretty good. Actually, it's nice color, photo, everything's good. Just, if anything, couple out of order things. No biggie. Live and you learn. If you actually did this every day, it would go together extremely quick. You would know all the little tricks and you could throw this thing together in no time. And it's very, very precise, I'm impressed. So, what I was going to mention is, being aluminum, it's a lot lighter than what we took off, obviously. It's the whole idea. And shorter. So you have a lot less cantilever weight here. But the other bed hung out there quite a bit. That's why we're doing this to start with. So, that being said, you come under the vehicle. And I know it's not loaded. We still have a tire to put on there, a rack to put on this. We're going to be adding probably 300. By the time we get all of our gear and everything, probably, yeah, 300 pounds or so. Our track bar when we started was level. And now it is, oh God, about 1.25 inches. slope to it, believe it or not. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it is pretty sloped. So that's going to change a few things here, being a lot lighter. It's going to make our vehicle, well, also, when we started, the front end sat up 1 inch taller than it did in the rear. Now it sits up about 3/4 of an inch taller in the rear than it does in the front. So we gained a lot. And I could tell by the coil springs are really opened up from where they were too. So this rig was set up for obviously a lot more weight. And when you start lightening it up, you're really changing quite a bit here. The track bar angle, which we don't get that close to where it was. It pushes your axle, well, going down to the passenger side of us, which is going to make you, we're going to have to get in alignment. Also, it's going to ride stiffer. It's going to change riding characteristics as long as pinion angle slightly. I mean, we did gain over 1 inch in the rear so far. If not 1.5 inches. That's a lot of difference in pinion angle and your geometry on your track bars and all that stuff. So it's just something to think about. Ride quality is going to be changed. No characteristics of it when you're lightening it up so much. Good, also bad. Not real bad. Just going to have to make adjustments, that's all. Just wanted to mention that, so something to think about when you're doing this. There are other things you're going to have to, I mean, even shock dampening and all that's going to be changed. So I can tell from my links, I got quite a bit more angle. Pinion's not awful, but it is more than what it was. So we'll have to make adjustments, I'm sure. That's part of the Jeep thing. Seems like I've had this thing aligned 4 times. But here we go again. Thank you. Oh, got the tailgate on. That's pretty simple. I actually fit up really nice here. Body lines are real good. Come out real flush at the top. But this is what I was talking about with the bedside. So it's nice at the top. Sticks out at the bottom. Nice at the top. Sticks out the bottom. Figured I'd put the tailgate on first. Just because that way I got it there to line everything up one time and not redo it again. But it does fit. It's a nice system they got here. It works very well. But yeah, just the steps to know in order would be nice. I did get the license plate light on, which, gosh, I hope that don't get broken like that. Kind of rough on stuff. But if it does, we can come up with something else. Seems like there was something else. But I guess to adjust this, I'm gonna have to just loosen these side bolts. See if I can, there is some play. There's slotted bed sides here. So hopefully, because I left these loose, I don't have to take all the floorboards loose, or bolts on the floorboard loose. We'll see. And it says to put, here's another thing. It says to put these rubber stops in before the tailgate and then adjust as necessary. Well, I figured put the tailgate on first and then put the rubber stops in and whatnot with the shims. That's kit 4 here. But there's a bunch of shims to shim this tailgate out. I'm thinking, well, how the heck you know what you need? So here we go again, bolting it all together to take it all back apart, right? So I put the tailgate on, and I'm going to adjust these bed sides real quick, hopefully real quick. And then put those rubber stops on so the tailgate's flush and it all works good. And I'll see if I messed anything up. Heck, I might be doing it wrong, but to me it makes sense that a couple of these things could have been done just a little bit different. So you're not tightening, or put it together and taking it apart and putting it back together. So hopefully that's a little key tip and just something to look for. But it is looking good. Real good. So I did order the extended sides here, lifts it up to this body line here, because it does seem like it sits pretty low. It looks kind of funny across the back in a sense. Not bad, but they do have built-in lights and whatnot. So we'll get those coming here soon, and that'll line that up good and kind of make it look even more factory with built-in lights. So save the other side to do so you can all watch. It's pretty simple. So first I just start by picking the right shim, which looks to be this one, for rubber stop here. And I got a bit of a mess going on, but we're not going to worry about that at the second. Sometimes you got to make a mess to get some stuff done. Push it through. They didn't give you any lock washers, so I got a little lock washer. Which is very tiny. Get it started here. Real tiny nut. It is 11:30 seconds, by the way. There we go. Guess I'll make sure I do have the right shim. It comes out real perfect, so we'll call that good. Tighten that bugger up. Okay, next we'll put our latch in. That's relatively easy. Look through the mess here and find it. Got it. So you just take this screw out of the back. This bracket comes off. We'll flip that, open it up. That just pressure fits. Back side of the tailgate. It's pretty simple. Nice latch actually. So like I said, I'm real impressed with this bad cat. Which, for how much it is, it should be quality, that's for sure. Well, that's 5/16. Let me look through the mess. Got it. Get that nice and straight. And of course, we gotta take all this apart again to paint this thing, or whatever we're doing with it. Haven't figured out 100% how we're gonna finish it yet, but it will be. So these are your stops. Oh, you know what? I did not put that latch in good. A little crooked. Fix that real quick. There we go. That's more better. These stops, you just adjust it to where it doesn't super. You don't want it loose like that. So we're gonna extend it out. Quite a bit. This side's a lot different than the other side. too much. We want it to where it draws it just enough so it don't rattle. So it's not real hard on the latch or anything. So that's a little tight, yeah. So tight. That's where, there, that's actually pretty nice. So then we'll skewer the lock nut behind here. With the right size wrench. Which is a 5/16. Alright. Next we'll put our bracket on, or this gizmo. So first we're going to take and bolt the washer. Not that washer evidently. This washer. This will go through here. Then we'll get regular hex nut and a shaker nut. Or a lock nut. I'm going to put this to where this moves freely yet, but not too loose. The hex nut, that is. And then back your lock nut onto the hex nut. Lock it tight so it stays where you want it. And that is a 1/2 inch you want from us. There, so that moves nice and easy, but stay there. Get our bracket. Sit there, you do the tapered bolts here. And washer and a nut. Oh man, the right nut. And we'll tighten those down so they're nice and straight. If I can find what I did. Oh, here it is. Got every size tool out here. Need to clean up. There we go. All right. Now we're going to take our bolt, a washer, this little steel sleeve here, so it goes in here and can move freely. Another washer, and another lock nut. And then, yeah, the tailgate's pretty well wrapped up. We'll put the license plate in. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick up some tools. I got it. Well, this is just tightened down nice because it's got that sleeve in there, so it'll stay pivoting on that. I did just paint these, by the way. They come raw steel. But other than that, their tailgate is done. That is nice. This latch is a little stiff. I'm going to back it off a fuzz. That was 5/16. Not that it matters because we got to take it all apart. Paint, but there we go. That's better. Nice and tight, won't rattle. Looks pretty good. Take that out. If it'll focus. And yeah, these latches are pretty neat. You just pop them, push and pop. Body lines come out real good. Perfect at the top. Real good. That kind of shadow. But it looks real good. Yeah, so funny thing, it did turn out I had to, or was going to have to, loosen all the bolts to push this bedside forward 1/8 inch, which in turn means I had to loosen all the front bolts and everything. So I chose to opt out of that because that didn't seem like much fun and a lot of work. And I decided to do a little body work, which got her looking right on the money. I just hammered and dollied, and she's good. A little bit of buffing up and it all worked out nice. That was a lot easier. So I went ahead and started, got the latches on and the bump stop and the strap. So yeah, it says in a strap or in the instructions, put this on, this rubber stop before the tailgate, which I didn't think was a good idea, but I guess you probably can because there's a shim. So if you take the shim that's the right thickness here and bring the rubber surface out to the back of this, that's the thickness of your tailgate as well. So you could do it that way. And yep, that works. But I chose to put tailgate on and then just see what I needed. So either way is fine. So I'll go ahead and assemble this other side if there's another side to do. So we got the rails in for, or the rail extenders, bedside extenders. Bring it up to the height of the cabinet. It actually looks pretty good. I'm going to get those powder coated to match these fender flares. Come out pretty sharp, got the wrinkle black. And that'll match the rack that goes, tire rack that goes on top. The bed is not getting painted for a couple weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and install the bumper here and the hitch. And I'm going to come up with rear winch design that comes through the rear bumper. It's all tucked up in there. So we're by ourselves and we're stuck on the trail. We can get ourselves out. I went ahead and installed one bracket already. And I guess we'll go ahead and install the next bracket here. So these brackets come with this, which actually you just fold, and it fits inside the frame and hold your little crush sleeve in place. Kind of a slick design. there's really no way of reaching in this frame once you get this mount on there to do any of this. So this is kind of cool. Slip that through there. Sure, this little chunks of metal are out of here. Get them in your fingers while you're doing that. Smart. Little burrs. And you just slip this in here. Line up your holes. It's pretty nice. Yeah, that works out perfect. I'll take the bracket. And we'll just beat this down there in place. Tighten in the screw. I drilled these holes right. It looks good. So, obviously we make a bracket of fuzz. I'm gonna line it up here with a screwdriver. Here we go. Just get a bolt washer. That one went through. Okay, that one doesn't want to go through. So, ram it out just a fuzz. That gets up. And I probably destroyed the threads. Maybe. Not the washer or what? All right, now we're going to tighten those up. wrench. Well, that's all better. Oh, then I guess we can go ahead and set the bumper up on there. Well, this is what it looks like with the bumper installed. We're actually just sitting there. It's not 100% aligned yet. This gap will get closed up a little bit here because it's kind of just hanging there. But looks pretty good. It's actually kind of a nice transition they got there. They did a nice job on this. So the only thing I wish is they didn't have these holes for the sensors that we don't have. However, what's cool is I think I'm going to be able to utilize this hole for the free spool on the winch. I'm just going to put an extension on it because the one I got, the motor can be clocked to move that handle in 4 different positions. So I can get it pointed straight out and have the handle back here for the free spool, which should be okay. It'll be protected by the D-ring mount. And I'm gonna, well, I got the hitch up there too, just clamped in place for the moment, just to see what I can do for the winch and how all this is gonna work. Actually, the hitch is pretty darn nice on the back of this, if you can kind of see. I mean, it hangs down a little bit lower, but that's fine. It's going to protect a lot of stuff here, so I'm good with that. And also, I'm going to come off of that with the winch mount and just incorporate all this and have the fair lead come right through here. I'll have to modify all this. So, tentatively, I'm going to take in, well, cut this cross member out right here, which is structure for the frame. But since we got the Reese hitch on here and the bumper, what I'm going to actually do is cut it somewhere in this vicinity. Then I'll run it structure back so the frame is still rigid. And then I'll just utilize that with a winch plate in here. So the winch was essentially going to sit on the hitch. I'll probably just weld a winch plate, but it'll have to come back because of the brace for the body of the bed here. There's just not enough room to fit it in there. However, it'll be a direct shot out the bumper and work real nice for the rope. I'll just have to sit the winch back in this vicinity, put a winch plate off, then I'll come off with some structure to make sure that's nice and strong. And then I'll take all the electronics for the winch and I'll just mount them inside the bed somewhere nice out of the way. And just run a couple cables down to the winch motor. So all the electronics will be up, protected from being drowned in water or whatever have you. So for right now, I just set everything up in here, mocked it up. The bumper mounts on very simply right here. Just 4 bolts. 2 on either side. And then the hitch goes, there's the mounts that we installed to mount the bumper. There's a hole here. So you just put a bolt there. And then I'll have to drill another hole in the frame here once I get everything precisely aligned. And then we'll put a bolt in there. And another side as well. Oh, they actually even, I don't really have it right here, but they actually even give us a bracket for the electrical trailer wiring and all that stuff. Pretty nice setup. So yeah, I was just sitting here designing this. What I'm going to do is, I got my measurements of where the bottom of the floor is. It's actually exactly 2 inches off the frame rails of the truck. So this is probably the last video till we go ahead and get the bed painted up. And but I will make a video in between then. I'm going to take this bed right off because it's about as far as we can go till paint. So we do have to put the fuel filler together right here. Well, I'm going to send those parts into powder coat. I kind of forgot them when we did that. Well, I got to get a couple things powder coated. And I'll have to get this bumper repowder coated because I'm going to be doing some welding for the winch. Kind of afterthought on that. But that happens. Well, I'm going to wait to put that all together just once I have everything back from paint and powder coat. I'm not taking it apart so many times. Well, I'll take the box off and do a video on making this a winch. I'm kind of excited. I think it's going to be really neat to have a hidden winch on the back of this Jeep to get us out of a tough scenario. So that way we can pull from the front or the rear. Should be a lot safer for us. I know we could use it a couple times when we were sliding down hills, about ready to roll over, or up against a tree. That's happened, where that could have just helped steady us. And we did not ever do any body damage, but we were within a ½ inch a couple times of smashing the roof. And that'd just be a little extra security to keep us pulled away from that, because it got a little sketchy a few times. It does that, or it happens. But well, that's it for now, and I'll be back with another one on the winch setup. So yeah, I just thought we'd go ahead and make a video on doing stuff like this and how we put our Jeep together, different ideas we have, and I don't know, like I said, there's not a whole bunch of videos out there like on these beds or whatnot that I could really come across. So I thought this would be kind of cool to just see. I thought it's a really neat kit, and I know there's a bunch of different ways to do all this, and the winch and different ideas out there and everything, but this is just something I come up with. Whether it be good or bad, we'll see. And I always say good information or bad information is still information, to know different processes of things and whether it works or not. So Let us know if you like these kind of videos. Just leave a comment below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, help us out so we can keep doing stuff like this and keep building the channel and building some good content. Hopefully get better and better to, and bring some knowledge and just have fun. We appreciate it. Thank you.